Hey, Quinn, you're going to be doing some good stuff out here. A lot of folks affected by the flood. Tell them how you can help them if they come out here today.
So if your home was damaged in the floods and rains that occurred, you guys can come out. The phone number to call is 1-800-621-3362. Again, that's 1-800-621-3362.
South Carolina. Right now, we're in support of Governor Haley and her team as they're dealing with devastating flooding that started over the weekend and continues now as rivers are still rising, moving down to the coast. Our job here is to support the governor's team primarily, initially in search and rescue and other resources, but now we're also starting the recovery process. So we're encouraging people that have had damages to your homes to start contacting your insurance adjuster, your insurance agent, but also registering FEMA and start the assistance.
Some of the water gauges, some of the river gauges, Alex, were actually washed away.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
The water that you see standing around could be bacteria filled. And at our location this morning, we've already seen eels swimming around about a foot long.
Floodwaters continue to pound the structures here in the southeast side of Columbia. And since this is river flooding, it's going to persist for days. My car's almost gone.
Places they are talking about this is a 1 in 1,000 year flood.
This round, Eagle 3 canvassed in Orangeburg with DSA to conduct outreach. So we worked with DSA reservists to knock on door to door and register people or help them with any assistance they needed in the registration process. We did other events such as Team South Carolina, which helped the community get extra resources outside of FEMA. And we did special events like the Holly Hill Christmas Festival.
When we first got told that we were deploying to South Carolina, I was kind of like mixed emotions about it. I was kind of like happy that we got deployed, but I was also like really scared because, I mean, being out here, it's kind of like a whole new thing, you know. You got like, I don't know, actual people that are suffering right now from this disaster, and you're there to help them, and you're the boots on the ground, especially being DSA. So you're there and you're talking to them. If you mess up, I was like, kind of mess up their lives, kind of.
I joined FEMA Corps because I want to respond to disasters and I want to help people. And I was really excited to get that experience.
I was both very nervous and excited.
Really excited. I've never been deployed to a disaster before, so I was really excited to get that opportunity.
The hardest part about responding to the disaster has been the 7-day work weeks.
Was at first we were working to like 12 to 14-hour days, which was really difficult for me, and we would like work like 7 days a week, so it was pretty difficult then.
I enjoy what we're doing. It's just when you're not used to that kind of schedule, it is tough.
I've never smelled the smell that I smelled. It was very strong, and there was mold growing all over the ceiling. She had one kid, and her kid had asthma and was on the verge of getting some kind of breathing disease, she said, and she was pregnant, and her husband had a disease or had some kind of asthma, and her grandma lived in the house too, and it was and she got declined FEMA assistance, and that really shocked me because the inspector came out and said she wasn't eligible for any. It wasn't that a big deal, and like to see like what I saw and her living there with kid, and she was pregnant and she had a grandma and everything was very sad. And
not knowing that everyone is going to get assistance is hard.
Well, I just do my effort, and I hope my reservists and Corps members are doing their best effort. And as long as we come through it to the best of our abilities, sooner or later, 99% of them will get assistance.
And just how many voluntary agencies have been in the state and have shown themselves to be available with the written consents and things to lend that extra hand to the people that aren't going to get FEMA assistance. So they'll have some.
A story that really touched me was I went to go do a written consent for a woman, and when we arrived, she was so distraught and overwhelmed by all the damage to her home that me and my reservist set up her dehumidifier and her CO2 detector, because even though there was so much else that could have been done. Like, she was so overwhelmed. It felt like just doing those 2 little things, setting up 2 machines in her home, made her feel so much better, and that really stuck with me. She was really thankful because she felt like we went above and beyond. Like, we weren't just FEMA workers, we were actually people who like saw her in a difficult situation and really overwhelmed and hurt and sad, and we did something for her. Even though it was really small, just setting up a machine, she really appreciated it. So it was nice. It was a good day.
Disaster.
The best part is getting to meet so many different people from all over, from who've been through many different things, share different stories, and it's just great.
Has been being able to meet all the survivors and listen to their stories, and just how grateful everyone is that we're here.
Just the people that we talked to from going house to house, just the nicest people that I've met, even though they've gone through a lot.
Any way that you can, just being able to say, "Are you okay?" and then like seeing their smiles when you ask them this, when you ask them that, it's just beautiful. It's great. I love it.
When we were at the Ready Steady Strong event, there was an elementary student, and she said that she was really excited, so she raised her hand, and she said that during a flood you should go underground. And that motivated me to create really great Ready Steady Strong presentations to teach kids what you should do in a disaster and what you shouldn't do.
Well, I've learned multiple things.
I think to be a better TL for my team and how to be an advocate for their needs and how to work with other generations involved.
Something I've learned is what branch of emergency management I would like to work with after the program.
I've learned that everyone comes from different backgrounds. Everyone has a story, so it's important not to judge because you never know what people go through.
I think one story that impacted me the most was just one older gentleman who I went and helped and was just very, very thankful for me being there. And although I couldn't help him like to the extreme, all I could really say is like, you need to get this itemized receipt and then take it to the DRC. The simplest thing for him meant a lot, and so he thanked me like a lot and just really appreciated me being there, and that really motivated me to keep moving.
What motivates me to get out of bed every day is the information I can give people. Some people just seem completely lost and overwhelmed by the disaster and what it's done, and being able to give some valuable information to people and help them with the next few steps makes me really happy.
Hearing how thankful people are that we're out here trying to help them, and knowing that they are going through a lot, they're still so gracious about us being here. That's just what keeps me going every day.
My motivation comes from the fact that my past probably wasn't the best upbringing, and now I have the power to help others and help children and help them learn about disasters and just spread the knowledge so that they can know and not have to learn.
I guess actually making a difference in someone's life, as the saying goes, as long as you make a world of difference to one person, you've changed the world.
Okay, so a story that's touched me is that I was canvassing one day and came across a man in someone's backyard, and he wanted us to go see his house. And so we start walking with him, and he walks back in the woods, and there's no way else to get there, no driveway or anything. So he lives back here secluded by himself in this little shack with broken windows and everything. And we asked him if he'd registered, and he told us he didn't want to because other people needed their help more. And once I looked over, I saw everything in his front yard that was in his house, his bed, his clothes, his furniture, all ruined by the floods. And he hadn't registered because he thought that he didn't have as many damages and he didn't want to take the help from other people. So just the selflessness of this man and the situation he was in, and that he had lost everything, was really heartwarming to see, and it was great to meet him.
The most shocking thing is just going into the less fortunate, poorer neighborhoods and seeing how they live and what they have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. But it also shows like how humble they are and how appreciative they are for what they do have.
Most shocking thing is just seeing that as long as we've been here for 2 months, there's still areas still flooded, and that it's not really going away. anytime soon. It's really going to take some work from the state and locals, just a community, to come together to really fix it.
The most shocking thing has been seeing the homes completely surrounded by water. Like you imagine flooding and you picture it for the first few days and it going down, but seeing homes completely surrounded with cars stuck in it was really terrible and sad.
A story that really touched me was I was out in the field with one of my reservists. We were going door to door, and we were in kind of like a non-affected area, but knocked on this slightly elderly lady's home, and she didn't have damages, but you could tell something was bothering her, and we just kind of asked her if she had damages and how the flood happened and all this stuff, and she just kind of vented to us about her grandson is staying with her because he has Crohn's disease and he just got part of his intestine taken out, and she was devastated. She knew that he wasn't going to be around much longer, and you could tell she was just having a really, really rough day, and she just needed someone to talk to and to cry on their shoulder, which is what she did. And you know, even though we didn't give her disaster assistance, we're still out in the community and we're still a part of the community. And for her to be able to tell us her story and to vent to us, you know, was really touching to me. Made me feel like I was really trustworthy. You know, I helped her in some way, even if it wasn't disaster related.
I'll remember most about like all the different stories and all the different people that we met and just how we impacted them so much.
I guess the thing I want to remember most is the amount of people I've made an impact, whether as tiny as showing them I smile during their difficult times, or making a world of difference by getting them registered and explaining the process, or explaining how to appeal so they can get a second chance at assistance.
I would want to remember all the people that we've come to work with and all the agencies we've worked with and just the people we've met over time.
When I look back on this experience, I'll remember the fact that I had my team members to help me out when I needed their help, and we kind of stuck together through all our own personal disagreements that we had, and we just got the job done.
Advice I could give, I would say, as far as DSA, to really get to know your POCs and reservists for sure. I think we were thrown into everything so fast that we didn't get that opportunity. And it's nice to kind of learn as you go, but to really, for them to understand where we're coming from and for us to understand where they're coming from really would benefit the team. And just relax. It's going to be stressful, and a disaster is hard and time consuming and long hours, but you can do
it. Eagle 3 is very proud of the impact they made on the community. Not every team gets the chance to respond to a disaster like we did. We are just very grateful for the opportunity to help people and carry out FEMA's mission statement. We grew a lot as a team and a lot individually. Most importantly, we will always remember the survivors of South Carolina.
Please take mine so yours can open too, 'cause I'm gonna stand by you.
FEMA's mission statement is
to support our citizens and first responders.
To ensure that as a nation we work together
to build, sustain, and improve
our capabilities,
to prepare for,
protect against,
recover from,
and mitigate all hazards.
Get things done. 'Cause I'm